What would you do if a competitor started offering a product that did exactly what yours did, but for free? This actually happens a lot more than we realize. It's not really a hypothetical. Early days of the Apple App Store, a lot of people made decent livings selling things like the flashlight app or by giving you the ability to take notes. Now Apple's just embedded those directly into their operating system. Microsoft does it quite a bit as well. A couple of really famous examples. Early days of the commercial internet, Netscape Navigator, the ability to browse the internet, cost $49. Microsoft released Internet Explorer and effectively killed Navigator. Another one that you might be familiar with, a more recent one, they created a Slack knockoff that they called Teams. And then they bundled inside of Microsoft 365. And since 2019 and the release of Teams, Slack really hasn't grown in any kind of a meaningful way. And now Facebook, or more accurately, I guess, Meta, is trying to do something similar with their release of Llama 3.1. And it's really shaking up what we think of in the AI space. It's the first open source model that ranks among the top tier of AI models. I'm going to put this benchmark data up here and leave it for a minute so you can take a look at it while I talk about this for just a second. First of all, as you can see from the chart, Llama is incredibly capable. Previously, Meta's models were good because they were small and open source, but they weren't frontier or best in class. Now it performs on par with GPT-4 and Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Beyond the capabilities, though, there's also cost considerations. Llama is very inexpensive compared to its closed source competition. You can run it on your own infrastructure at roughly 50% of the cost of using a closed model like a GPT-4o, with the huge caveat that you need someone on your team or whom you partner with who has the expertise to implement it. The benefit of using an integrated provider is that it takes care of the things your team doesn't have the specialization to do on their own. But still, a 50% savings is significant, not to mention it's yours, running on your metal and tweaked to your specific use case. In that case, Llama 3.1 is really good for AI partners. It's compelling enough from a cost savings and control point of view that some companies are going to want to swap out their reliance on OpenAI, and they'll need help doing that. Additional credit to the Meta team. Open sourcing the weights, that's useful, but they even went a step further. Meta's research paper about Llama 3 is more detailed than anything that we've seen in the AI scientific space in years. What this all means is that GPT-5 cannot be just a little bit better than GPT-4. It has to be a lot better. And people in the know say it is, but we're very much in wait and see mode until it's released, hopefully later this year, because this is exactly what the middle of a bubble looks like. If GPT-5 is only an incremental improvement, the AI bubble is going to pop. And the other big news is little. Small language models had a huge week. I'm going to throw up a graphic here real quick, and we're going to talk through a lot of the breakthroughs that we've seen recently. Why are small language models a big deal? Because we are heading towards a world where a lot of the AI processing is going to happen on device, and our phones and our laptops simply don't have the power to run large language models. Just talking about a few here, Mistral Nemo is Apache 2.0 license, which means it's fully open source and it's outperforming really the best small language models that we had up until this release, and it's multilingual. GPT-4o Mini is incredibly inexpensive. 15 cents per million input tokens and 60 cents per million output tokens is very, very cheap. The multitask language understanding benchmark, or the MMLU, of 82%, that's better than any large language model that we had 12 months ago, and it is lightning fast. If we go back to the dark ages of generative AI, back into early 2022, the best model in the world was OpenAI's DaVinci. It was much, much worse than GPT-4o Mini, and it cost 100 times more. Some other examples that are out there that just recently came out, Smol, also Apache license, so we can use it and get into it and check it out for free. And it's trained specifically for on-device work. Mastral has a really good math score and a decent MMLU score. CodeStrol has an enormous context window for being able to retrieve very large amounts of input data. And then H2O Danubi is really, really great in the academic space. So there has been an enormous amount of small language models coming out, and this is really exciting and shows really where we're heading in terms of AI and on-device language models. I feel like you could say this every week, but the last week in AI has been crazy with all kinds of breakthroughs, but that's all we got time to talk about this week. Stay curious, keep learning, and I will talk to you next week.